Is Bang Energy back, baby? Or is Monster Beverage still dialing 1-900 Mix-a-Lot a year later, looking for turnaround answers for the energy drink brand? So I'll decode that introductory question a bit later in this content, and sticking with the recent theme from my previous Monster Beverage quarterly content, I'm going to focus a bulk of the insights towards reconciling previous forward-looking statements that I've made about the Bang Energy turnaround strategy. But since Monster did just release their quarterly earnings, I think it would be reasonable of me to start this content off by running through some high-level financial data. This will obviously update you on how the existing brands within the Monster Beverage portfolio have been performing recently, but more importantly, give context for my expanded strategic commentary on energy drink market dynamics and trends. Plus, it will make the Bang Energy information more relevant and impactful. So, starting off with Monster Beverage Corporation revenue, the entire portfolio generated quarterly net sales of $1.9 billion, which was up 6.1% year over year on a constant currency basis. The revenue was flat on a quarter over quarter sequential basis. In terms of geographic performance, United States makes up about 3/5 of the total sales, yet international is outperforming the US market at plus 13.7% year over year growth on a constant currency basis. Now, let's drill down into quarterly performance of the four segments that make up Monster Beverage Corporation. The largest is what they call Monster Energy Drinks, even though it also includes both Reign sub-brands, Bang Energy, and its Monster Tour Water. This segment made up slightly less than 92% of the total sales this quarter and grew 6.5% year over year on a constant currency basis. Obviously, the other three segments are much smaller, but the next largest is known as Strategic Brands, which is a collection of conventional global energy drinks that Monster picked up in a sort of trade with the Coca-Cola Company in June of 2015. These brands include NOS and Full Throttle in the American market, and names like Burn, Predator, and Relentless that are used globally. Those brands collectively grew 23.6% year over year on a constant currency basis this quarter. Without having the pricing data available, my hypothesis on the outperformance from this segment is that NOS and Full Throttle are more active promotionally in the domestic market, and Monster's international energy drink brands are usually more economically priced compared to Red Bull, which could be more attractive to a cost-sensitive but resilient consumer that views energy drinks as an affordable luxury. And then the other two segments I'll only briefly mention by name, skipping over providing deeper insights on them because this content is focused on the energy drinks market. These segments are alcohol brands that resulted from the Canarchy Craft Brewery Collective acquisition, and then Monster also owns a flavor company called American Fruits and Flavors. But as you saw from the sales performance within the energy drink segments, you might assume everything is great, but that's missing a few key underlying factors that could change up the positive storyline at Monster and the energy drinks market overall. If you checked out my Celsius Holdings quarterly breakdown content from earlier this week, some of this might sound a little bit familiar. But while I and many others, including Monster's leadership, believe the energy drinks category has massive upside potential to continue growing, the near-term outlook is hazy. Firstly, categorical growth rates have slowed compared to the last handful of years. In fact, according to Nielsen's syndicated data, the last 13 weeks for the period ending July 20th of 2024 showed only a 0.6% year-over-year retail takeaway growth for the energy drink set. Moreover, a tighter consumer spending environment has been pressuring same-store sales at convenience channel retailers, which is the most important sales channel for energy drinks. And then on the competitive landscape side, the energy drink brands at Monster Beverage are facing opposition within the category at levels never seen before, as Celsius, C4 Energy, Ghost, and Alani Nu continue to push hard. Finally, you have the year-over-year comparatives being thrown off because of the Bang Energy bankruptcy sales process that officially closed on July 31st of 2023. And this might be a good time to turn my attention fully to what I was mentioning in that introductory statement. Monster Beverage has now owned Bang Energy for just over 1 year now. And from the almost silent treatment it gets on earnings calls or press releases from the company, you think the brand turnaround good or bad isn't that materially important. Well, I'm here to refute that assumption, but we need to look a layer deeper below the energy drinks market surface. See, there has been this remarkable transformation happening within seemingly every multi-billion dollar beverage category, especially energy drinks. For the last decade, there has been this flywheel effect of categorical demand growth feeding product innovation. To compete for consumer attention, different wellness focused marketing strategies and functional ingredients have been utilized by this massive brand proliferation. Yet, this fragmentation arguably increased discoverability, giving the energy drinks market this almost sixth sense ability to evolve and appeal to a wide range of active lifestyle consumers with varied energy needs throughout the day. But within the categorical fragmentation, you'll see the Energy Plus subcategory. That is now being split into what's broadly referred to as performance energy drinks and wellness energy drinks. In the growing Energy Plus subcategory, Monster Beverage is not the leader, as Reign's share year to date is more than 8 percentage points behind Celsius and slightly lower than C4, Ghost, and Alani New Energy. Now, if you throw in the current share of Bang Energy, Monster Beverage would still be less than half of Celsius, but ahead of the other competitor brands. And if Monster could somehow get Bang Energy back to pre bankruptcy, but still struggling post PepsiCo distribution disaster share level from mid 2022, its Energy Plus portfolio would be within striking distance of Celsius. That's why, for the most part, beyond the typical financial ROI metric stuff, getting Bang Energy back to even its mid 2022 market share is important for Monster, as they attempt to retain a leadership position within the evolving beverage category. So then, let's analyze the Bang Energy turnaround progress over the last year through three buckets: sales and distribution, product innovation, and branding and marketing. And we can start with trends in retail sales according to a recent Circana data report. This is one of those classic cases where, depending on the comparative period and sales channel, data can tell wildly different stories. For instance, Bang Energy has seen its last 4-week year over year sales performance essentially turn flat. Yet, if you zoom out and look at the last 52-week data, retail sales still look in free fall mode. According to Monster leadership, the Coca-Cola distribution system continues to get relistings for Bang Energy at key retail partners. And another good leading indicator is that Bang Energy has recently relaunched in Canada with 4 flavors. Also, total distribution points are rebounding despite Coke being instructed not to compromise any of Monster's existing shelf space to get the Bang Energy brand back up and going faster. But that mandate could evolve depending on the Bang Energy innovation launch for early 2025 that the Monster CEO hinted about in the earnings call, stating that it's time to get the brand more focused with new innovation. And that comment opens up the larger strategic alignment question around what or who is Bang Energy now. On previous earnings calls, Monster leadership said that Bang had emerged as this lifestyle brand, but wasn't that lifestyle cultivated by its founder, Jack Owoc? If you've looked at the Bang Energy social media lately, many elements of this original loud party vibes lifestyle are still present, but there's one noticeable difference. In June, Bang Energy and the streaming and content creator supergroup Any Means Possible, that's better recognized by the acronym AMP, signed the largest partnership in the brand's history. Slated to be more than just another endorsement deal, AMP members will become the creative minds of the energy brand, developing experiences and products that align with their collective audiences. For those that don't understand the potential influence of this deal, AMP is comprised of 6 members, with the most popular member being Cenat, who's the 5th most followed person on Twitch and has 16 million subscribers on his 2 YouTube channels, 14 million followers on TikTok, 11 million followers on Instagram, and that's already enough attention to shift culture without having to go on any further. But AMP has become a household name for Gen Z consumers and one of the few digital entertainment brands that could provide the level of innovation, creativity, and dynamic engagement needed to lift Bang Energy out of the Jack Owoc shadow. And speaking about the man himself, I can't create a Monster Beverage content piece without some various ongoing legal chatter involving Jack Owoc, right? The first one involves the battle relating to the Bang Energy CEO social media accounts that was granted to Monster in the bankruptcy sale, but is still within the appeals process. Additionally, A judge ordered the Bang Energy founder to pay the legal fees of Monster Beverage Corporation from their court dispute last year. Another one sees Jack Oak facing more than $100 million in clawback suit damages for allegedly reckless management and use of the company's funds for real estate. Speaking of which, Jack Oak was reportedly hit with a $30 million foreclosure suit over missed payments on a waterfront Fort Lauderdale mansion. Though that doesn't mean Jack Oak isn't going out fighting, as he's filed a complaint urging the disqualification of a Florida federal bankruptcy judge and called for an investigation alleging that the judge committed misconduct in the bankruptcy case. It's also maybe interesting to note that Jack Oak seems to be signaling he plans to start another business soon, most likely within the cognitive or brain performance category. But I did just want to end with some quick final thoughts. You've likely seen the snippet or graphic that shows Monster Beverage has been the best performing stock in the S&P 500 over the last 30 years. But that doesn't mean Wall Street isn't skeptical about the energy drink giant's future growth prospects. In fact, several large firms have lowered their rating and price targets on the stock after it had fallen by close to 25% in 2024. Now, my avid followers know I rarely mention stock price, target, or ratings because that's just noise in my world. While I understand many of you take these insights and do what you do with it, I don't explicitly or implicitly provide investing advice. Moreover, that's why I also don't pay attention to the analysts at large financial firms that only look at models for the answers, because we rarely agree on much due to our timelines being different. Point in case, to juice earnings, Wall Street would love Monster Beverage to make substantial price increases. Alternatively, I see poor judgment if Monster raises prices when the gross margins are already improving and the bulk of the brand's core customers are blue collar workers that are tight financially right now. Finally, it was announced a few months ago that Rodney Sachs was considering reducing his responsibilities at Monster beginning in 2025. For those that aren't aware, Rodney Sachs served as CEO or co CEO of the business since acquiring the legacy beverage manufacturer Hansen Natural Corporation in 1990. The company didn't provide many details around its wind down period or succession plan, but Rodney Sachs will remain chairman of the board. If the current poor performance of the Monster Beverage stock continues or maybe even accelerates, I'd guess that the CEO transition plan would quicken with Rodney Sachs and maybe also include its other co-CEO, Hilton Schlossberg. These guys are both like 70-something-year-old billionaires that defined much of what the energy drink space is today. But it could be time for a fresh perspective with the promotion of 14-year company veteran Emily Tyree, who's been the chief commercial officer and also the president of the Americas. But I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. If you did, consider hitting that like button to support me. Also help me get to my new short-term goal of 4,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that I think slightly more than 90% of you that are watching this YouTube video are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But I do want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.